I'm getting home.
Was in this search that I came upon a revelation, which has called me to guide millions of people towards their righteous destiny.
How you doing this evening?
Hello.
Welcome back to the Kel Show. That's Key. This is Kel, and we're right back at you again with another discussion dealing with family today. It's second day of Black History Month. I want to send a shout out to my mother. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday,
We
Mom.
love you. You know that. Talked to you earlier today. You know that thing been on its way in the mail. You know what to do. So we love you. Want to shout you out. Anybody else who have a birthday today, want to shout you out as well. The Groundhog Babies. Want to shout y'all out. So happy birthday again. And today's topic, we're going to talk about family and what does it mean to you. So I had Key go ahead and weigh in on it, and just sit back and enjoy. And welcome again to the Ken and Kel Show.
Well, for me, what does family mean to me personally? Um, it is on so many levels, but I think that it is probably the catalyst of who I am. And I would hope that anyone who's listening would feel the same way. It means a great deal to me. Um, that's where you start. You know, from your mom, dad, and siblings when you're younger, to of course when you start to create your own families. So, what does it mean to me? Uh, so much. It means, the different aspects of how you become an adult. It's the foundation of where you should learn just about everything from. Um, so again, what does family mean to me personally? Everything.
And to piggyback on that, in my opinion, I would use nature as an example. The nest. That's where you learn the tools to be able to leave the nest and stand on your own 2 feet. So, like my wife said, it's essential and it's the foundation with everything you do. And, we just here to shed a little light on, family topic, because hopefully we're striving to be the best families that we can be internally. So, you go ahead, babe. You go ahead and finish.
So, the aspect of a family is usually your blood. That's what most people um, talk about. They will reference, of course, their mom, like I said earlier, their dad, their siblings, and then of course your aunts, uncles, grandparents, and so on. And that is the true definition of family. That's what people learn about first. And then you can, certainly move into those friends who, they've earned their spots, become a part of your circle, and then they get to a point where they feel like family. Um, a lot of times people will say you don't get to choose your family, but you do get to choose your friends because you end up, you know, connecting and building relationships with people that are like-minded to you. Um, so um, I would say that that is the start. There's so many different levels. What do you say about that?
Well, excuse me. Speaking on blood, I mean, again, they take you right back to the nest. That's what the first people you see. So hopefully, you have relationships, within the nest, within your home. That's where it started at. You have ups and downs. Every family does. But it's how you get through 'em is what make you stronger, as well as with a friendship. So, I mean, with our previous show, with loyalty, love, and respect, it's the same thing. So, yeah.
Mm. So, you know, we talked on um, you know, the foundation of it, like coming up, what my babe said in regards to coming up, and that's where you learn, that's the foundation. That's where you learn what the structure of a family is. And that can be, a good thing, or it could be, not so good. But that's where you learn, as a female, personally, that's where you learn um, how to act as a female. Um, that's where you learn, um, when you go into the aspects of what it can teach you. It can teach you socialization skills. It can teach you, conflict resolution if you have siblings or very close cousins. Me personally, I come from a big family. My mom's parents, they had a total of 8 living children. And from those children, there were, the last time we counted, there were 42 grandchildren,
Okay.
and just at, the same amount, if not exceeding, in great grandchildren. Um, so it, you certainly learn how to deal with a number of different personalities. So again, socialization skills is crucial when you have those big families, and then conflict resolution. But it also, teaches us our heritage, where we come from. There's nothing like sitting in a room of, 3 and 4 generations, and you speaking about the history of your family and different stories. I was always intrigued as a child to learn from those older than me. So that's my take on what it teaches you.
Okay. I'll take that.
Mhm.
Now, what you said takes me to family reunions and how the younger generation, how some, not all, how some don't participate in the family reunions. And, we sit and talk and, people, put their money on a lot of things that, you know, they could substitute and budget and put toward the family reunion, seeing your family, you know.
Mhm.
And from her family, they just did a family reunion. Uh, we hosted one, and you know, we plan out in advance. That's with anything. We plan out in advance, and you know, the planning out in advance is for everyone to put aside, you know, monies to be able to accommodate themselves once they get here. But we also know things do happen. But there's also lines of communication where you can reach out and let people know what's going on. That's what family is about, and we all work together, not waiting to the last minute, but reaching out in time and coming together as one. You know?
Sure. And speaking of, family reunions, it goes to, the loss of um, matriarchs or patriarchs of the family. like I said, coming from a big family, you you typically will have a number of family members that will look to the elders for direction, for their examples, things of that such. And when you lose someone that has so much wisdom, um, and love and demonstrates so much love, then it's hard and it can be detrimental on a family. So for my particular family, it was essential that we continued on the legacy that our matriarch started in displaying the love, and it brought us together. Although her loss had somewhat separated us because you didn't have that piece of the pie that was really the glue any longer. It also able people to step up and want to do something about it and carry on her legacy. Um, and by doing so, it has brought us closer together. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here in front. Babe and I are known to be real, um, but it is worth it, because then you are then, continuing on positive cycles by showing and setting examples for your children, should you
Exactly.
have them. So it it's the demonstration of love at its finest. You know, love is not always rather peachy keen. So it shows you so many things, and I'm so grateful to um, have those experiences because some people don't.
It's all about the cycle of life.
Mhm.
You know, we just had a conversation, you know, about one of the tires on the car. And, it just come from my dad showing me, you know what I mean? And, shout outs to the dads out here, to instill a skill set in their sons where they can pass it on to their sons. And the same thing, shout out to the ladies where they can pass down skill sets to their daughters and they can pass it down to theirs. So that's what it's about for me. It's about passing that skill set down so you can be prepared and better prepare the next generation. That used to be our narrative, you know, making it better for the next generation, and it go right back to the loss. I mean, we spend money on the latest fad, and unfortunately, for a lot of us, when an unexpected loss come, people don't have the resources to lay the people to rest. So it's about planning. I mean, a lot of people, can spend money on a lot of things, but in the construct of a lot of things, it should be some type of policy for yourself or for your family. Because in the event something happens, you need those resources to be able to take care of that.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great point. It's truly essential that if we, truly hone into our heritage, then we understand that it each generation should get wiser. You know, um, no, we didn't have some of the uh, privileges that we have today, and not to say that we don't still have a long way to go, but we certainly have the capability of um, taking out life insurance policies, talking with your family about saving and trying to leave something for those you may leave behind, um, empowering them with the knowledge of what to do with it, um, and not blowing it, but maybe trying to show them how to invest and, preparing for the future and trying to make sure that the generations to come um, have, like my babe said, have and know what to do with, the life insurance or how to save money while you're living, so many things. Having a will, a lot of um, us don't, tend to invest in things such as that, but not understanding that a legal document can be formed by simply getting it notarized, which doesn't
That's true.
cost any more than $5. Having something is better than nothing.
That's true.
So, those are the things that, we want to make sure that we point out, not to say that um, we don't do a good job, but we certainly can do better.
We all can do better.
Yeah. So, that's the family aspect. And, going to, again, I am so grateful for the family that I have. It's like any relationship. We love, sometimes we get on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, we will hurt somebody for our families.
And
And
shout out
that's,
to shout out to the families, both sides. Shout
yeah,
out and much love and respect.
yeah, we love y'all. It just is what it is. We might not always see eye to eye, but there is love there. Sometimes, family members can tell you some real stuff because they know you best,
And we've been there in a lot of cases.
yeah, for sure. And but then in regards to our circles, the aspect that we talked about earlier in regards to friends who become family, um, those individuals uh, are, they mean a great deal to us as well. I know that personally, Babe and I have some really, really dedicated and loyal friends that are like brothers and sisters to us, and we've been blessed with that. When we talked, in our previous shows about relationships, love, loyalty, and respect, we can honestly say we don't have a lot of them, but we can honestly say that there are people that we can count on without a shadow of a doubt, in addition to our blood
And in the first episode we did, respect is earned. So we done put the work in together for many years, 30 years in some cases. So, it's solidified out here, and we got each other back, and as much love to everybody. And we're always a phone call away. You know how it is. We just want to put that out there for the masses.
family. Yeah, yeah. And then, going into our personal family, our immediate family, we are blessed with a blended family. So Kel and I have been in prior relationships, and we've had, children from those prior relationships, and we have blended those two aspects of families together. Now, me growing up as a child, I experienced somewhat of a blended family. Um, and what I mean by somewhat is that we all came from one mother, but we did have different, fathers, because my mom was married twice. Um, and, uh, you know, that was a learning experience. But two, that prepared me for my immediate family and uh, having a blended family as well. Um, this particular family, there are children that don't share the same mother or the same father. So, um, it's really, humbling to see. It really shows you what you're made of. And I'm grateful that, we have been able to really shine in that area. We're not perfect, but we certainly do succeed and put forth significant effort to do so.
And at this present time, the ship is running very smooth. So, you get out what you put in, and you lead by example. You lead by example. And the example is her and I working together, brainstorming, plotting and planning, having family meetings with everybody. And because everybody's grown now, so we can bring everything to the table now. And everybody have responsibilities. So it's about setting the example and having the young soldiers follow. That's what it's about.
Mhm. Yeah, I love personally. I love the family meetings. It gives us an opportunity to know what's going on with each other. Um, young people go through more than what we realize. I know that young people today um, have been, exposed to a whole heck of a lot more than when we were younger. Not that those things didn't exist, but they weren't as prevalent or as accepted as they are today. Um, so, it's important to me to have an opportunity or give an opportunity for young people to voice what's going on with them. Um, I'm sure that there's families out there that do this, but I don't typically when I'm communicating with other adults and I express, something like that, or they tell me that, oh, your kids are so mannerable and this, that, and the third, and they ask me, where does that come from, or whatever the case is, in addition to me continuing on the positive cycles of what I was learned, or taught, then I too contributed to that open line of communication that we have with our family. You learn so much about one another, and it's all done in a respectful manner, but it is giving an opportunity for teachable moments. Um, when my husband said that, you uh, you be, you set the example. Well, those are the opportunities for us to do so, to point out the examples that we're trying to give to them, um, and then get their feedback on it and see if they actually witnessed it, or what they're thinking about it, or if they're not thinking about it at all.
Right.
um, and they're not always, you know um, discussions filled with flowers and things like that. We touch on some pretty deep things, but nonetheless, it's an opportunity, that we have, our family has, especially as a blended family, to communicate and even plan. I don't want to say plot, but certainly plan, whether it be transportation, whether it be the next business opportunity, whatever it is. It provides us an opportunity to plan and communicate it as a family.
Sounds good. That was it for you?
Um, I think that um, it's just really important. If you haven't communicated with a family member, we are so entrenched with the internet and social media and things like that. We tend to forget that sometimes it's cool to be on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool to even email or inbox messenger and this, that, and the third, but it means something different If you take the time to go see an individual, or you take the time and you pick up the phone. We are so saturated with everything in the world, from work, to, whatever it is that we're trying to do, you know, um, that we forget that, you make time for those who are important to you. So I would just encourage everybody that if you haven't, called your mom, if you haven't called your dad or went by and, seen them, um, to do so, if your kids don't live with you and you haven't talked to them in a while, you know, invite them over for dinner. If you haven't seen your aunts and uncles, or your cousins, or your siblings, nieces, nephews, do something with them. It's important. I just told my adult nieces that, I want to do something with them, including my daughter, um, that's here in Ohio, you know, want to do something with them so we can just dialogue and see what's on their minds, and share some of my wisdom, you know. Um, and my husband does the same thing in terms of the males, communicating with them, sharing what's real out here, speaking from the aspect of, not getting played in these streets, and things like that. So it's just important. Family is important, whether you have a big family or a small family, whether you consider yourself not having any family and it's entrenched with your friends. Whatever it is, show them the love, as my mother-in-law would say. We talked about the fact that it's her birthday today. So in honor of her, as she would often say, give people their flowers while they can still smell them. Tell somebody you love them while you still have the opportunity. Show somebody you love them while you still have, the opportunity to do so. Because trust me, once they're gone from here, you truly are going to wish that you had, um, when you talk about, um, we touched on loss earlier, you know, um, we would be remiss if we didn't communicate about, um, even those children that we have lost. Um, you know, they are a part of this family, and um, even though they're not here, with us, um, any longer, they will always be within our hearts. Um, so it's just important, and what you feel about that?
Well, you already, excuse me, you already know my position on that. Family is everything for me. And, me personally, I lost two daughters. So they always in my spirit and ride with me. And I always invoke their name every chance I get. So, I would take this time again, say rest in peace to Jackie and Jewel. Also, rest in peace to my dad. Also, rest in peace to my wife's grandmother. And rest in peace to the viewers out there, anybody that you have lost. Rest in peace to them as well. But I also want to shout out our kids that's here. So, Elise, Ricky, Malik, Markel, Keon, shout y'all out. We love y'all too.
For sure. And I'm gonna leave you all with a poem. Um, it says, "To be a part of a family like mine is so divine, where love is shown, hurt is shared, our love for each other is never impaired. We talk, we laugh, we cry, but we are family and we do it all together. For as a family, we do it all as one." You hurt one, you hurt all. And as a family unit, we will all stand tall. For we are family, a family full of strength, a family full of love, a family no one can touch. That's why I love my family so much. By an unknown author. Um, that's what it's about. You learn to love. You learn so many things from a family. Um, and for me, and like my husband said, it is everything. We thank all of those who have tuned in, um, and who have been a part of our lives in any type of way. We thank you sincerely. We love you, and you either are or you have become a part of our family, and that means a great deal to us.
What's up?
So we encourage you to reach out to yours. We hope that you feel about family just as we do, and if you don't, we hope that you work to improve upon that, because everybody deserves to feel loved.
And with that, we wish you peace always. And take time out to go through the videos and have discussions with your family. Also, inbox us or email us rather below KingKelShow@gmail.com. Also, continue the conversation on Facebook. And we love you. And we see you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.